Tech Watch, China is becoming even stricter on how long kids can play online video games. Anyone under the age of 18 will be barred from playing online video games Monday through Thursday and will be limited to playing just 1 hour a day on Friday, weekends, and holidays. This is a step up from previous rules issued in 2019, which allowed players under 18 years old only 90 minutes of gaming time on most weekdays and 3 hours a day on Fridays and the weekends. So for more on this, I want to bring in CBSN tech reporter Dan Patterson. Boy, Dan, when I heard this, it gave me the argument that I need for my kid every time I tell her to put the iPad down and she complains. I was thinking I could just say, hey, you could be growing up in China, where it's a lot different there. But I'm wondering, I know why I want my kid to put down the iPad and stop playing games. Why is the Chinese government doing this?
Video games, Anne-Marie, are spiritual opium, at least according to the Chinese government. Gaming is eroding cultural norms and transforming the economy in ways that the government says they find distasteful. Now, the reality here is that China has kind of been broadly cracking down on a number of technology industries, and analysts say this is because they're trying to strategically point their economy in a direction towards the production of, say, semiconductors, and other technologies, artificial intelligence, that will help them remain competitive into the future. We have heard about the spiritual harm that video games can cause for a long time, but really when it comes down to it, it's an economic issue more than anything else.
But how are they going to enforce it, though? I mean, one of the things that's sort of the beauty of the internet is that there's a lot of anonymity. How do you know that a kid isn't just logging on with their parents' account?
Well, and look, universally, gamers are pretty resourceful people. If they want to play games, they'll find a way to play games. Look, the Chinese government says that they are working with parents, with schools and teachers to kind of help with cultural enforcement. They're also requiring game companies to enforce a real name policy, and they're working on implementing a number of technology fixes with very large Chinese gaming companies, notably Tencent and NetEase.
You mentioned that the primary reason behind it all, whatever we want to say about the spiritual roots of it, has to do with the economy. Is this also a way of controlling this very lucrative sector of the economy?
Yeah, you're right, Anne-Marie. This is also about control. And look, gaming is incredibly lucrative. No matter how you feel about it, game companies have kind of optimized. They've figured out how to make a lot of money from in-app purchases, and a lot of these games almost resemble gambling. So there's certainly a cultural component to this, but once again, it really just comes down to money. Yeah, control, but for the sake of more money, and probably data that these companies gather as well.
So I can't remember the statistic that I heard yesterday about the percentage of revenue that the global gaming industry gets from, players in China. But I remember I was sort of surprised. So is this expected to have an impact on the global gaming industry?
Yeah, Anne-Marie, if we look, at least in the short term, if we look at gaming stocks, they were immediately hit by this. And when we reach out to gaming companies, look, a lot of them carry pretty significant investment from Chinese firms. Riot Games is owned 100% by a Chinese investment, and even Epic Games, which is currently suing Apple, is owned 40% by the company Tencent. So, when those stocks take a hit, it does impact the global economy. Again, Anne-Marie, although we kind of look at video games as this children's activity, it's never been more popular with adults as well. It's simply a massive industry that is growing very fast. And so, like any industry, when there are major regulations or changes to how these companies operate or profit, it has ripple effects.
So have we heard from any of these companies that have felt the impact already?
Yeah, Tencent said they will implement these changes, as did Activision Blizzard, which is a U.S. company as well. But we spoke with Epic Games yesterday and a nonprofit, and it looks as though almost everybody is kind of focused on this as something that they can mitigate or manage. It doesn't appear to be a major threat, at least outwardly, in terms of the PR that these companies are trying to push.
Okay, and probably helps a lot of parents out there, I tell you, because this is a nightly fight with me. Put that iPad down and stop playing that game. Dan, thank you very much.
Good to see you.